You are listening to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network.
Stepping up the ring and onto the mic. Golden locks, throwing shades on tight. I rule the airwaves, I own the night. Crank up the volume, feel the heat down. Turn up the dial, let me preach. Running this town with a steel cake smile. When the bell rings, I do it with style. I'm the Lord of Saturday night. One hand thunder, taking the mic. Bodies tell the truth, no fear, no fight. Bow down, cause I rule tonight. Saturday night, blonde hair, thunder taking the mic. Bodies said the truth, no fear, no fright. Bow down, cause I rule tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network. A huge night tonight. We are only 24 hours away from the biggest pay-per-view of the year, Immortal 12, live from right here in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the big stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring my co-host in. Please welcome.
¡Hola, muchachos!
Ladies and gentlemen, El Vacant is here. Hola, El Vacant.
Hola, muchachos. ¿Cómo está?
I am excited. I am excited tonight. It's a big night tomorrow night here in RAWF Immortal 12. It's just less than 24 hours away. Some big stuff happening tomorrow night, and it all goes down at 8 p.m. Eastern Central Time right here on the RAWF Radio Network. How are you, sir? Are you ready for Immortal 12?
I am always ready. I am wonderful. I am muy grande. See, very large. See me, very large.
Very large. I get you. Muy grando. Yes,
Grande.
absolutely. Grande. Yes, absolutely. I just got one of
Rondo
those.
is that actor. He was in all those movies.
I got a grande at Starbucks this morning. I should have known that. But anyways, but yes, tomorrow night, Immortal 12. But before we talk more about Immortal 12, we need to get to some GM reports, ladies and gentlemen. Our RAWF GM reports here tonight, and I will start it off with the Paragon of Greatness Ultimate Gauntlet report. Do you have one, sir?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of match updates, but there is a interesting note to give. We started our gauntlet last week. We've only gotten one match finished in that time, where we saw Tiggs defeat her opponent, who I don't currently have right now. Sassy Applebee's, actually. Yeah, it was a very impressive victory. Tiggs defeating Sassy Applebee's. Tiggs is now currently fighting Hot Cheese in the second match of her gauntlet run. But what is a very interesting note is I've got to say right now, Immortal Season shows just how excited everybody is about this company. We have a record amount of signups right now in the Ultimate Gauntlet. We are 5 groups deep in the Ultimate Gauntlet. That's over 50 people currently signed up for the Gauntlet. So if you signed up recently, it might take a little while for you to get there, but we've got a steep list to run through, and that as a result of that, I'm going to try to pick up the pace with matches, run them as quickly as possible. As soon as a match finishes, I'm going to get right on that because we've got a lot of names to get through.
All right. Well, Paragon, sounds like things are pretty busy in the gauntlet, and busier than they've ever been from the sounds of it. So that's a good thing. At least I hope you think so.
Absolutely.
All right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is your tag team report from Unstoppabot. The final top 10 tag teams were posted earlier this week. And we'll go with the top 5. Top 5. Thunderstruck at number 5. The reigning tag champs, the two miserable at number 4. Kicks and Giggles came in at number 3. Hotness Overload came in at number 2, and the winner or the number 1 team in season 2 of 2025, the tags division, were the Cage Shakers. So that being said, the Cage Shakers will challenge 2 miserable MFers tomorrow night for the tag team championships in RAWF. That's going to be a great match. We'll talk more about it in just a moment. Also from Unstoppabot, the Extra Points tournament is in sign up. It will be closing in signups for the Extra Points tournament will be closing in 1 week, and the tag sign up for this next season, season 3, will be closing tomorrow after the pay-per-view show. So you have until tomorrow night to get signed up for this season of tags, and from the looks of things, it's going to be a pretty big season. See a lot of new names, see a lot of established tag teams in there, see some returning tag teams. It should be a very interesting season 3 of 2025. All right, next up. So let's go to our High Voltage Invitational and Anything Goes GM. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't heard from her in a little while. Let's welcome
Fusty feel I'm proud the night. Mother Anarchy, fierce and right. Strong yet vulnerable, a sight to see. Night's wild heart coming for thee. Hot-tempered gleam in her eye. With each roar, life's demons die. Sexy radiance burns like fire. Cougar night, your darkest desire. She's the force that breaks the chains. Rains down fury, drives you insane. Family first in the heart's embrace. Hear her roar, she'll win the race. Anarchy runs through her veins. Her wild heart can't be constrained. Sucks to be you, that's the truth. Beware the rage of Cougar's youth.
Ladies and gentlemen, the First Lady of Anarchy is here. Please welcome the Cougar. Good evening, Cougs.
Good evening, LA. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Busy as Hades.
Is
I see
Hades
what
that
you did
busy?
there.
It's pretty busy lately, I hear. At least where I've been.
All right, Cougs, what do you have to report from the High Voltage Invitational? I know you have some big news.
Well, actually, I want to touch on anything goes real quick. I do have the semifinals started with Blake Bradley, DW, the Extreme Enigma, and Chris Cage all trying to get a shot at that title. If Blake wins, he gets to choose his opponents from anybody that competed in this season. Okay, now on to high voltage. This one's big. I've had a couple ask how I pick the winning match that gets the extra 10 points. So for future seasons, so that you know, when I'm going through, I read every single word that is written in every match. That's why it takes so long for me to score it sometimes. And the one that wins is normally the one that grabs me and doesn't let go. It's telling me a story, it's telling me the action. And I don't want to stop reading, and I want more when I do have to finish. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to entertain me. As far as that goes, this was one of the best seasons of high voltage in quite some time. We had three people tied for third spot. We had one for the second spot, and we had two people tied for the winning spot. So the title match will be a triple threat between our reigning champion Chris Cage, the Extreme Enigma, and Hot Shot Chaz.
Oh wow! A triple threat match for the White Lightning Championship at Immortal. Chris Cage, Hotshot Chaz, and Extreme Enigma. Wow, that's huge.
Now,
That
as far as our next season, because there were so many tied for so many positions, I'm going to keep all of the competitors from this season. If they do not want to compete, they just need to let me know. They just need to let me know, and I will find a way to get a tournament started to get somebody into their spot. But as I said, it was one of the better seasons. This one, I actually had people using the cage in their
damn.
track, so it was really a good season.
All right. Sounds like it. Sounds like it. And it's going to be a huge match tomorrow night for the White Lightning Championship. Chris Cage, Hotshot Chaz, and Extreme Enigma. Do you have a prediction for that match tomorrow, Kooks?
Prediction? No. Hope? Yes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, I want to congratulate you since you're here, and I know you may have to leave fairly early here in the program, and so I want to catch you before you do. Congratulations on winning the Superstars Championship from Davila this past week in Reno. Talk to me about that match.
Actually, that was a really good match. I love it when I can take a title from Dev because Dev is my mentor. She has always supported me, always had faith in me. So when I get to show that I better her in a match, it really makes me feel proud. Uh, but I also kind of feel a little weird wearing this title because it's not the estrogen title.
No, it's not the estrogen title, but I mean Superstars title.
It was,
Uh, you've held the Superstars title before, haven't you?
I believe so. Yes, not for
Yeah.
long, but I did hold it.
All right.
It's a hard one to hold on to.
It is. It is. Not many people can hold on to it for more than a couple of weeks. I have to look. You got should be on here somewhere, but I don't see you at the moment.
She's right there.
I mean, on the championship. Yes. Okay. Yes, you did. You did hold it for a couple of weeks in 2023. So yeah, this looks like it's the second time you've won the championship. The Superstars.
I think I'm going to try and hold on to this one for a little while.
Well,
What is the record for it?
the record?
Uh huh.
Oh boy. So the record is currently held by the Immortal Griffith.
Uh oh.
It is for 161 days and 16 title defenses. You will have to Yeah, you've got quite a ways. We're talking about
Goody
4 months.
gravy.
That's the record right there, and it hasn't been.
Okay.
And it hasn't been, and that was back in 2016 that he did this. The closest anyone has come was Killer Neptune in 20, or Uncle Frank in 2017. He held it for 140 days, 14 title defenses. Uh, and then Griffith held it for 112 days with 12 defenses in 2020. But
Good gravy.
since then, nobody has held it longer than 42 days and 4 title defenses. I'm
Okay.
sorry, 49 days and 5 title defenses.
So I need 6 title defenses in 50 days. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. you, you, you've got to, you're going to have to hold on to that thing with every claw that you have.
I got a few.
I know you do. Briefly, before we move on, Cougs, I know you're looking forward to Radiversary. It's always your favorite pay-per-view of the year because it involves the Hall of Fame. You looking forward to it again this year?
I am. Unfortunately, my schedule was so busy that I didn't get to do my annual push for certain people, but I did notice that that certain person was mentioned by others. So it's about time people jumped on my bandwagon to get that person in there. So who knows?
All right. Well, Cougs, if you're still around after a bit, I'll ask you some more questions. Okay.
You got it.
All right. That is the First Lady of Anarchy, the Cougar, your high voltage invitational, and anything goes GM. And good to hear from, always good to hear from Cougs. All right. So, next up, well, I guess we're going to get to it. Vacant, it's time to talk about tomorrow's Immortal 12. And of
Oh
course,
yes, let's.
Immortal 12 is always features the Xanther, the Platinum Dragon Memorial Tournament. And at last count, let me go and recount again, just in case somebody has joined since the last time. The Xanther Tournament, we are up to somebody has. Wow. All right. So we are up to 104, 100 and looks like 113 participants. Damn. That's the most we've had for a while. I think I can't remember the last time we've had that many people sign up. And you still have folks have about 22 hours, a little less than 22 hours to sign up if you haven't already. The Xanther Memorial Tournament this year. Here are the payouts real quick. That's 101, a total payout of 211 million coins, 7,000 wrestler bucks. There will be an entrance video and a title belt awarded to the winner. The winner will get 101 million coins, 3,000 wrestler bucks. You can see the payouts on the tournament page or in the tournament sign up scene, which is still going, folks. We will take signups until the last minute. The tournament will kick off tomorrow night, roughly 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when we go live on air here on the RAWF Radio Network. Next up, of course, it would not be Immortal without the announcements of the class of 2025, the RAWF Hall of Fame. That happens tomorrow night as well. It's I not to give anything away, but it's going to be a great class. I can assure you of that. But those announcements come tomorrow. No more further hints will be given tonight. All
No
right,
hint for you.
no hints for you. Uh, Real quick,
Oh wait, I
because
do have one hint. I can give them one hint.
what's that?
They're wrestlers.
Yes, they are all. Yes, they are all wrestlers. That's true.
Yes, see? I'm very helpful.
Real quick before we get to the actual card of Immortal 12, I have an update from Sports Unstoppable on the SU Purge here. And it basically simple and sweet. It is heading apace, is what I was told by the COO of Sports Unstoppable, Will. Uh, and he asked me to direct people to the official WUHQ company. If you guys haven't signed up, if you guys haven't joined that company, there's actually some good stuff going on there. A lot of great tournaments, and I believe they get official announcements too. Do they not when they're in the company? Elvika, do you know?
See the company homepage has a whole bunch of links to all like important stuff like the sales and announcements and the tournaments like you talked about, all kinds of things.
Yes, I am in that company, and I am quite pleased to be in that company. All right, so that is two of the main things that happen at Immortal tomorrow night. But of course, there are matches to be had as well. Live from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The first matchup we'll talk about here, the steel cage match between the Paragon of Greatness and Kenny Boy Ken Costa. This one has been, well, at times it's gotten ugly. Ken Costa kind of up the ante, but not in his favor. He's putting his career on the line. If he cannot beat the Paragon of Greatness in this steel cage match, he says he will retire from RAWF. Your thoughts?
But why though?
I, I'm guessing it's because he feels like if he can't beat Paragon, then what's the point? I don't know.
If I can't beat Michael Jordan in a dunking contest, I'm quitting the NBA. That's what I heard. That is what I heard.
Wait. Yeah, pretty much. So Ken Costa putting this up. I don't understand it. But do you think he did it for his own motivation?
I mean, maybe he feels like he needs that kind of pressure to then perform. I don't know.
We'll talk more about that matchup a little later with the Paragon of Greatness. Next up, the Buried Alive match between the Soul Reaper and Bruiser Omega. This is going to happen one way or another. I'm predicting Soul Reaper gets the victory. I think he's due here.
I agree. I agree.
You know, but yeah, I think Soul Reaper wins this one. I don't know that Bruiser Omega's heart is completely in it at this point, but we will see. Next up, the Bunny Pinata on a pole match.
Oh, good.
Extreme Enigma and the returning Jobu. How do you feel about this one, Elvagan?
God knows. Why? Bunny Pinata on a pole. What? I mean, at least it's not a candy cane match, I guess.
Right?
Or is it? Is that what they're doing with the bunny? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm looking.
Also, right. when did Jobu become a Burger King ninja?
At any rate, here are the rules to the Bunny Pinata on a pole match. It's 200% health cage match rules. Before pin, you must successfully hit 4 high-risk aerial maneuvers within the course of the match. Swanton bomb, top rope bulldog, frog splash, springboard roundhouse kick. diving headbutt, suicide dive, moonsault, corkscrew 6-3 splash, and or shooting star press. So that is how that is the that those are the rules to the bunny pinata on a pole match. Are you even more confused now than you were before I read those rules?
What does that have anything to do with a rabbit on a stick?
I don't know, but we'll go. We'll just go with it. That's all I can do is I can go with it. This is what they wanted to do. Jobu returns to RAWF tomorrow night and this bunny pinata on a pole match. Next up, we have ourselves a classic Fubar City street fight. Alley Knight versus Miss Beautifatal. Miss Beautifatal, the reigning estrogen champion. Alley Knight, the daughter of the First Lady of Anarchy, the Cougar. Your thoughts on Fubar City street fight between these two?
I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. But no matter what, I win. I mean, come on.
what?
Have you seen how these women dress? Like
I'm looking at it right
the
now.
wrong way and something's coming off. Like, and in a FUBAR,
I'm looking at it right now. I mean,
I mean, there's a bunny piano I wouldn't mind breaking open.
Yeah. Alrighty. At any rate. You realize her mother is still right there.
Sure, she knows who her daughter is.
You
let her dress like that. Don't talk to me.
Next up.
What? Mom's hot, daughter's hot, daughter dresses like that. I say worse things to the mom, too. I don't get, when I do that, I get giggles.
At any rate, an I Quit match between two of RAWF's finest superstars, the unsettled Chris Cage and Hotshot Chaz. We all know the story. Chaz has been delving into the alcohol a lot recently, but he was attacked by Chris Cage a few weeks ago on Superstars. It all culminates tomorrow night with this I Quit match. Do you think Chaz will be in any shape to even compete in this match?
I hope so. I really hope so. I think, look, people have their ups and downs. I feel like, he's gone through a lot. He's, but I also think he knows what it takes to perform at the top of this game. And I think he will show up ready to do just that, especially against a person he used to consider one of his best friends who has, well, not been very friendly lately, huh?
Indeed, this will be an encounter, to say an epic encounter. But it's not the only time these two will square off tomorrow night. Is the First Lady of Anarchy? Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Champions Choice Championship. Ice Cold Eric McFadden defending against Hot Cheese, and if I remember correctly, the rules were pretty stacked in McFadden's favor. I don't see him losing the belt, but it's nice. But the good news is you get to see Hot Cheese in action, El Vacant.
Hold on. Hi, Destroyer. I see you. Welcome back. Right. Yeah. First of all, I feel like you missed the boat by not calling this the Fire and Ice match. I just feel like hot, cold, like it's right.
Oh,
it was
wow.
right there.
Well, that's why you're here, Vacant, to point things out like that.
It's right there. But I mean, I think it's going to be as good as a Champion's Choice match can be. You're right. As you are supposed to. The champion has stacked the odds in their favor, and I would be surprised if they lost this title.
Yeah, I would be surprised as well, but nice to see Hot Cheese in action in a title match here. It has been a minute. All right. Now, another one I know you're looking forward to.
Yeah.
It will be for the Arcana Clash Championship. Seabill, who will have an extremely busy night. Seabill defending against Destroyer. Talk to me about this one.
So I will be at ringside, not commentating. In fact, you probably shouldn't have a mic anywhere near me. And this might be my personal favorite match of the night.
Wow. Personal favorite. Really? Hmm. Who do you want to see on top, Vacant?
There's a question. I'm hoping to see a variety of positions. I figure some good leg locks, maybe a couple scissor holds. I don't know, maybe some, I don't know, finger bars. Whatever.
Finger bar.
Yeah, it's kind of like an arm bar, but with the finger. It's like a fingered lock. It's a joint lock.
I see. All right.
What's his name? Mr. Fuji used to do them.
Mr. Fuji.
He did.
All right. Hatfield and McCoy Championship. Chris Cage defeated Blake Bradley last week to win the Hatfield and McCoy Championship. And he will be the one defending against the Immortal Griffith tomorrow. How do you feel? Talk to me about how you see this match playing out.
I think Chris is going to be in a world of hurt.
You think, just considering what Griff had to say last week, I can't disagree with you.
I think, especially when, everything he has been talking about seems to have, come true. I think he's going to walk into that match and show just how disappointed in this man that he once respected he is.
So that will be a very heated match, as will this next one. The White Lightning Championship, the triple threat that Cougs mentioned earlier. It is the unsettled Chris Cage, the defending champ, in a triple threat, high voltage steel cage match. Hotshot Chaz and Extreme Enigma, his challengers, and this will be the second time at Immortal 12 that he will have to face Chaz. Just have to throw Enigma in there. Who walks away the White Lightning champion tomorrow?
All right, so here's the thing. One, it's a match that Chris is very well versed in and quite good at, to be frank. On top of that, you add in triple threat rules, which heavily favor the champion keeping their belt. With both those things being true, I don't know how you bet against Chris on this one.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, but we shall see. It is not. Nothing is a given here. So
I mean, one of the things I'll point out to fans who maybe are newer, don't have the history. This is good. This has all the makings for a very explosive match. Like current watchers really know that Chris Cage and Hotshot are not really getting along. But what they may not know is that there is just as much bad blood between Enigma and Chris Cage as well.
Indeed, there absolutely is. And I don't think there's any love lost between Enigma and Chaz either. So, this could get very ugly very quickly tomorrow night for the White Lightning Championship. Next up, Estrogen. This one's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
As we said, both of these ladies in multiple matches tomorrow, but Sai, all of her matches are title matches. This is the challenge for the Estrogen Championship. And as much as I'm happy for Miss Beautifatal that she won the Estrogen title from DW and added a title to her resume for the first time in her RAWF career, I know how badly Sai has wanted this title for a long time. And I honestly believe we're going to get a new Estrogen champion tomorrow at Immortal. Your thoughts?
I highly believe you are correct. Unless she gets too much taken out of her by Destroyer. Because Destroyer is in a position not only to take a belt away from her, but do enough damage to keep her from getting this title. And that is a thing that could happen. She's in the ring with a legend of the Indies who cannot be overlooked. Now that being said, fair being fair, Sai has absolutely been one of the toughest competitors in the RAWF over the last 6 months, maybe last year. Like she has pulled off wins that no one expected her to. She has pulled off wins that on paper she had no right to. And, I may not like some of the choices she's made. I may not like the people she associates with, but she has made a believer out of El Vacant. And, like I said, unless Destroyer actually does some real damage, I don't see how she does not walk away with the estrogen title.
I think if your side does win the estrogen title, she's a candidate for Wrestler of the Year. Just for everything she's already done here in 2025, this would be another astounding accomplishment. So we shall see what happens. This will be. Miss B has shocked us, though. She shocked us when she beat DW.
Absolutely.
She shock us? Can she shock us again tomorrow at Immortal 12? Next up for the men's championship. No love lost between these two, the Immortal Griffith and Blake effin Bradley. This one's a tough call for me. I believe Griff will retain. Blake Bradley's been in sort of a interesting situation as of late, being haunted by somebody, and they're actually supposedly going to show up tomorrow at Immortal 12 to do whatever. I don't see Griffith losing the championship tomorrow at any case.
It seems unlikely. Look, the last time these two faced off for a title in RAWF, it went very poorly for Blake.
Yes, it did. And that happened.
And as I recall, Griff wasn't even particularly heated at him at that time. And like I said, with how annoyed he is at Chris, I think he's even more annoyed at Blake.
So, at any rate, the Immortal Griffith going into Immortal highly irritated, no doubt about it.
I don't like him when he's irritated. Will you people stop pissing him off? I like him when he's the happy-go-lucky, funny guy. I like that guy.
Multimedia Championship, Extreme Enigma defending against the badass Billy Gunn. I know Enigma is enjoying his reign as enjoying their reign as multimedia champion. But Billy is hungry. That much I can tell you. Who do you see walking out the multimedia champion when it's all said and done?
This is a very hard match for me to call. I think they're, and neither of them are going to like that I say this. I think they're very evenly matched. And I think either one of them could beat the other on any given night. If I had to place a wager on this match, I would probably go with Enigma only because of champion's advantage.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be a close one. Enigma should retain by the skin of their pants.
All right, why are we talking about their pants?
Never mind. I don't even know why I said that. Just move on. Triple Crown Championship, another big match for C-Bell, defending her Triple Crown Championship against the Redneck Avenger and Eva. Normally, when I side on for the champion on here, just for the champion's advantage,
right,
and
as we discussed earlier,
for the Triple Crown Championship. But such a busy evening for Sai, I think that counters that. The fact that she is going to have to focus on 4 or 5 matches. Eva and RA only have to focus on, 2, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, they have one title to pay attention to.
I feel like one of the challengers is going to win. Now, which one? That's even for me. RA is hungry. Eva is always dangerous. What are your thoughts?
All right. So, honestly, I believe this match is anyone's call for the reasons you said. I think the advantage get stripped away by how many other fights Sai is going to have that night. But with the advantage stripped away, I think it's kind of an even fight. I think they're all very capable of just going in that ring and dominating an opponent. I think they're all very motivated. If I have to choose a winner, if I have to say this is who I think is going to walk out with the belt, I guess I'm going to lean towards Eva.
I don't think that's a bad choice. I don't think that's a bad choice at all. Yeah, this one's too close to call for me.
Right, like no one would, like whoever. No, I'm not going to be shocked at any particular winner. Right, like there are times where you get a match and you're like, wow, if this person wins, I will be shocked. Like there's no one in this match that qualifies for that. Like
yeah.
Everybody in this match is absolutely in the running to win this match.
I can't disagree with you. This is a pick'em for the Triple Crown Championship, to say the least. Next up.
This will be good.
Yeah, you think? The God Slayers it's like the mega powers explode. This is the God Slayers explode for the Fubar City Championship. Griffith, Maeve O'Hare. Griffith is already going to be in a bad mood after facing two other men that he's very highly irritated. But now he's got to turn around and face his closest ally in RAWF, that being the lovely Maeve O'Hare. Of course, Maeve, a former Fubar City champion, no stranger to Fubar City street fights, but a stranger to facing the Immortal Griffith on pay-per-view. What are your thoughts of this, the Fubar City Championship match?
This literally might be the untitled main event. Like this could be the thing that draws the most views. This could be the thing that takes the roof off the building, right? You said the God Slayers, first time ever facing each other at an RAWF pay-per-view. This could be explosive. Now, like you said, he's going into this match having already now, by the time we get to this one, he'll have already faced two men that he is annoyed with. And, you know, when Griffith's in a bad mood, he's a little bit meaner. But this is Fubar City. Is he really going to get any meaner than he already is willing to be in a Fubar City match? And Maeve herself has said in a recent interview that she knows damn well that once that fight starts, she's not the other half of the Godslayer. She's not his mentee. She's not his friend. She's an opponent, and he will do what he has to do to win. She knows that. Now, it's good that she knows that, because that means she knows she has to be the same way. And if these two people go in to a Fubar City title match with that understanding that they are both here to do whatever it takes to win, I hope your insurance is paid up. That's all I'm saying.
It indeed has the makings to be the best match of the night. Who walks away?
I just saw what Paragon said.
This one's
Have
going
you thought
to be
about that, boss? Actually having a pay-per-view inside the pay-per-view?
I mean, it is definitely going to be one of the most anticipated matches of the evening, no doubt about it. Next up.
Wait. What? No one has shown what?
What? Wait, did what? I didn't know.
You asked if anyone had shown me her costume choice.
Yeah, you didn't see it?
No.
Oh, well, you're missing out.
What? Fix it.
What?
Fix it.
I don't have that information on me right now.
I hate all of you.
Next up, Midnight Hobo Championship. Nightcrawler defending against the Legend Destroyer. Destroyer could walk out of Immortal with 2 championships. What are your thoughts on Nightcrawler defending against Destroyer?
I think I'm going to go with Destroyer on this one. I don't know why. That's the weird. I don't know why. I said that Hobo was going to win. I said Hobo. I said Nightcrawler was going to win the Hobo Championship when he went after it. I even said after he won it that I thought he was going to probably hold it for a long time. And now I feel like I'm going right back on that because he's facing Destroyer, and I don't know. My gut just says don't bet against her.
At the same time, I think Nightcrawler, being the RAWF veteran that he is, and how much this title means to him.
Hold on, I got a text with it. Whoa, okay.
Did you just get the?
Yeah. I got a pic of the outfit.
And are you satisfied now?
I'm not sorry. Satisfied is the word I would use, but I'm intrigued.
Oh, trust me, I have a feeling you're satisfied. At any rate, moving on to our next matchup. It is for the RAWF Tag Team Championship. Two miserable MFers defending against the two-time RAWF Tag Team Champions, the Cage Shakers. Now, the TMMFers have been pretty dominant. I mean, 2 or 3 successful defenses since winning them last year. They certainly are a tag team championship to be reckoned with. But the Cage Shakers know what it takes to win those titles. Can they do it for a third time tomorrow night at Immortal?
Are they capable of it? Sure, absolutely. Are they going to do it? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think if Cage can keep his head in the game and doesn't take too much damage earlier in the night, then yes. If he gets too distracted by what's all the other things going on and what was in all of his other matches, then I think I think Shaker's going to be out there technically 1 versus 2, and that would go poorly.
All right, next up. I mean, this one is going to be a good one. There's no doubt about it. Could be the best tag team title match we've had in ages, and which is appropriate for the biggest pay-per-view of the year. National Championship, Simply the Best defends against Knox Boogie. STV, he's a member of the Elevated Society. He's still he's always going to be in the hunt because he's STB. Let's face it. He's always in the mix. But Knox Boogie, hasn't been in the mix for a while. This is Mox's first chance and opportunity at a major title in quite a while. And Immortal is one of his better pay-per-views on his resume. What are your thoughts on STB versus Knox?
All right, so first I want to go back to last week. I misspoke last week, so I should correct it. I talked about how STB has not really. I hadn't seen STB win a match at a pay-per-view in a long time. And what I should have said is I haven't seen him win a match he was challenging in a long time because he's been consistently winning his national championship matches at pay-per-views. That's why he still has it. Yeah, that's how that works. So I misspoke, and my apologies. That being said, I think everything else I said last week still stands. And I do think I think my money's on Knox in this fight.
I don't know. I think STB knows how important this pay-per-view is, that it's Immortal 12. And I think I might have picked Knox Boogie. I might have agreed with you last week and said Knox Boogie. I think I've flipped it since then. I have a feeling STB is going to retain that national title tomorrow, despite the fact that Knox has been on a roll. We shall see. We find out. Now, Platinum Dragon Championship on the line at Immortal 12. It is Killer Neptune defending against DW Diesel Warrior. And if this was the only match Killer Neptune was participating in, I would have to lean towards Killer Neptune. But
Okay.
DW is one of those opponents that if you underestimate her or are distracted by other things, DW can beat you. We've seen it before. We've seen it many times in her career. That's why one of the reasons she's an RAWF Hall of Famer, why she got into the Hall of Fame last year. On the other hand, Killer Neptune knows what's at stake tonight. He's in the two biggest matches on the card. I don't think he's going to sleep on DW. Notice I said sleep on her, not sleep with her. Okay.
If you're on her, you're probably not sleeping. Just saying.
Never mind. You know what I meant. I did not mean that as any sexual innuendo.
I guess I know. Keep going.
At any rate.
It's my job.
I have to lean towards Killa on this one.
So last week when we discussed this match, I believe I actually said that I was leaning towards DW for all of the reasons you just mentioned. But since I've said that, I noticed something. You know, you said if you don't pay attention, if you're distracted, she's going to sneak up on you. But here's the problem. What she showed me in the last week is that she's distracted because instead of paying attention to her match with the Platinum Dragon Championship, instead, she's been talking about how she's coming for the world title. It's only a matter of time, world title. She is still focused on something that is not the match she has. And if that is the case, if she walks into that match still with the world title in her head, she's not going to beat Killer Neptune.
I can't disagree. But to be fair, this is the first time she's been in a match of this magnitude in quite a while. Maybe she will realize that, hey, winning the Platinum Dragon Championship can be a step to the World Heavyweight Championship. We've seen it done before.
Multiple times. In fact, we're going to see it tomorrow night.
We could see it tomorrow night. So, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it is definitely going to be one of the most anticipated matches, but not nearly as anticipated as our main event. It will be brother versus brother for the RAWF World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of Immortal 12. Paragon of Greatness defending against Killer Neptune. We've heard a lot about this match from Paragon, but we have not heard a lot from Killa. But we will hear from Killer Neptune on his thoughts of the main in the main event of this tremendous show tomorrow night. But what are your thoughts just less than 24 hours away from this tremendous matchup?
I'm torn. So history tells me two different, very opposing things. History tells me that Killa doesn't do real great in title matches against his brother. And if I go by that history, then we get and still at the end of the night after a hell of a match, but we get an and still. History also tells me, however, that Paragon isn't real good at holding on to titles at Immortal. So if I follow that, then we get and new, and we also get, the eternity of a little brother trolling his big brother forever, which could be funny. I would watch that. But I don't know. My gut's telling me that Paragon put too much blood, sweat, and tears into regaining this title after so many years. I don't think this is going to be a short reign. I think he's going to manage to find a way to win this fight.
All right. Yeah. If I step away from being the owner of RAWF and put myself as a fan. And as a fan, I am fans of both of these men. They have been, they are my favorites to watch. They're the guys that I look forward to watching at every pay-per-view. But the story here is, can Killer Neptune win the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time in his RAWF career when every other member of the Opaque Brotherhood has done so except for him? He's done almost every other thing in his historic RAWF career. You talk about his 6 or 7 Platinum Dragon title reigns and everything, and longest Powerball title reign, and other things that he's done. This is the one thing that has eluded him, the one thing that his brother has been able to hold over him when they have their brotherly disputes, if you will. This is almost this is reminiscent of a man needing to finish the puzzle. And tomorrow night, I want to see Killer Neptune finish the puzzle. Not that I have anything against Paragon, and if he defends the title, tremendous. He once again another notch in his RAWF belt. But I would love to see Killer Neptune finish the puzzle. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody's cheering for an underdog. Everyone always wants, the little guy to win. And in this fight, let's face it, he is the little guy. I mean, look at the two of them. And absolutely. And I've been a huge, supporter of his rise. I think he would make an excellent champion. I think he's made an excellent Platinum Dragon champion. I just don't think it's in the cards.
Well, we find out tomorrow night, and it is going to be a tremendous main event. Let's take a closer look at our main event tomorrow night.
They told me to let go and dream of torture and horrible things of that kind. They told me you're only good as a thought you keep in your head when you unlock your mind. They told me you'll never win cause you're doomed to fail, and everything that you do just ain't right. They told me I need to quit acting like a child and grow up and get on with my life. I told them, not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. They told me, be afraid of the ones around you, cause nobody's gonna have your back. They told me, make sure you get used to lonely, cause they're gone when you fall face flat. They told me, it don't matter how you play the game, cause in the end you're just a loser anyway. They told me, see, even when you win, you lost, and they forget you by the end of the day. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. They told me to get ghost and leave the set, I'll never be a star where I'm at. They told me you're only good as the weight you can bear when the whole world is upon your back. They told me you never win cause you never complete or finish anything that you start. They told me they like to look for mistakes we make, another reason they can pick us apart. I told them, not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me, not me, not now. They told me bad dreams and all the jokes and humor are really nothing more than a phase. They told me to play it straight and put in the hard work, erasing everything about me in my place. Told me you only live in the shadow of those that built up all of your life. They told me you've never been anything. Empty promises and nothing but hype. I told them, not me, never gonna be me. Not me, not now. Not me, not me, never gonna be me. Not me, not now. Not me, not now. Not me, never gonna be me. Not me, not now. Not me, not me, never gonna be me. Not me, not now.
It is indeed going to be one hell of a match. The brothers collide tomorrow in the main event of Immortal 12.
Me, not now. Oh, what? Sorry, it was what? It was catchy.
It was. It was indeed catchy and definitely a great perspective of tomorrow night's main event. No doubt about it. But I did promise that we would hear from Killa Neptune. So, with that being said, it is time for story time with Killa Neptune.
Hey guys, it's the actor, paid to play the role of Killa Neptune here, and welcome to Storytime with Killa Neptune. There are a lot of stories being told here in RAWF, some of them true, some of them false, some compelling, and some a waste of breath. But I want to talk to you about the story of Immortal 12. There it was, the story worthy of the grandeur. Paragon of Greatness finally pushed that boulder up the hill and captured the RAWF World Heavyweight Championship from the Immortal Griffith. A journey that started the moment he lost that championship to Uncle Frake 6 long years ago at Immortal 6. And his opponent? Simply the best. Two very similar wrestlers that took very different paths. The gritty hard worker that pushed through to the main event by repeatedly slamming his head against the wall until he broke through the damn thing. And the man that got there through unscrupulous means, using the charity of his nefarious mouthpiece Blake Bradley to walk into immortality having taken the easiest route. But here's the thing. They told you that was the story. They virtually guaranteed it. But that isn't a story, is it? A rivalry written in the stars, number 1 and number 2, over and over again. It made so much sense. Meanwhile, they were too obsessed with their own narrative to see the full picture. Number 3, over and over again, in the Killa Neptune spot, was your very own very best. While you were looking at each other, the slipperiest shark in RAWF was looking at Immortal. Blake Bradley, the man behind the curtain, pulling the strings and trying to force dominoes to fall in his way, made to look like a bitch. Simply the best, the man that thought he would coast into Immortal and reclaim the World Heavyweight Championship, all he had to do was beat Killa Neptune. Even though we had many back and forth exchanges over the Platinum Dragon Championship, it's a piece of cake, right? I mean, just use your Paragon strategy, except even easier. Wrong. The stupid fish pulled it off, and simply the best was made to look like a bitch. And I'm not dumb enough to assume that it was a foregone conclusion that STB was going to walk away scot-free in that match. There was every chance they were making you look one way so that wham, big Blakey boy walks into the main event. There was a lot of talk about it, but nothing about your boy Killa, making all the prognosticators look like a bunch of bitches. And Paragon of Greatness. Lovely Paragon, the nicest guy in the world, the Boy Scout of all Boy Scouts. Surely, he did the right thing by his dear brother. He sure does like to talk about how much he loves his little brother now. But just a few weeks ago, there was no it could be Killa. He was prepping for a war against the not-so-esoteric society, thinking he was going to go sting an NWO on them like he did with the DOC. I mean, you could have asked for some help, literally now, then, any other time one of your buddies betrayed you. But anyway, you love your stories, but only your stories, don't you? So you overlooked what was happening right in front of you, making Paragon of Greatness look like a bitch. Yes, there are a lot of stories in RAWF and a whole hell of a lot of unreliable narrators. Paragon at Immortal in the main event, Las Vegas is going to see a show they will never forget. A show for the underdog, for the dreamer, for those that never gave up, even when it got hard. This isn't your story. This is my story. And nobody else is going to write it for me. And this has been Story Time with Killer Neptune.
All right, you heard. How did you enjoy the story time with Killer Neptune, El Vacant?
I love the fact that I'm not a little bitch. I didn't get called a little bitch.
No, you did not.
That was great. I love that. That was top tier Killer right there. Is what that was.
That was Killer Neptune, the challenger to the World Heavyweight Championship.
Can I change my vote?
Well, you might want to hold off on that because now it is time to talk to the World Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, this will be
please
good.
welcome.
Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. First of the fallen and last of the old gods. No use fighting because you can't beat those cold odds. Beginning of time and the end of days. Civilizations crumble under his gaze. Alpha and Omega, the wrath of the God King. Paragon of greatness, about to pin you in that ring. Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. Eons ago, before time existed, they lived in the heavens and the rain persisted.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the RAWF World Heavyweight Champion. He is the Paragon of Greatness. Good evening, Paragon.
What? How do I even respond to that?
With words.
Well, it seems to be a word of the day, but I'm not going to use it.
Preferably not like a bitch.
Wow. Fucking killer. All right. So where do we even begin with this? Look, I understand. I know what the narrative is going into Immortal. There are basically two camps. There are the people that are just going to not care about this match regardless of what happens, and you know what, whatever, fuck them. And then there's going to be the people that are watching this match because they want to see the dream come true. I'm not deluding myself to believe that I am in any kind of world where I get to be the normal paragon of greatness at Immortal. I understand that people want to see Killer Neptune win this match. Hell, I want to see Killer Neptune win this match. And it's really is an interesting place for me to be, because following Unyielding just last month, taking on Simply the Best in New Orleans, I saw a very mixed crowd for their hometown hero versus your RAWF World Champion Captain Good Guy or Boy Scout or whatever Killer Neptune called me. And now, 1 month later, one pay-per-view event later, I'm going into Immortal, and I'm kind of the default villain in this match. I get it. I agree with all of those people. I fully support it, and it puts me in a really tough spot because I would never, under any circumstances, disrespect my brother by giving away the moment that he's been chasing for so long. There's nothing that's going to lessen the amount of effort that I'm going to put into this match, and there's nothing that's going to stop me from walking out of the main event still the World Heavyweight Champion. And I can talk at length about why I believe that's actually a good thing for Killer Neptune, but it's clear that he doesn't believe that. Whether he is not thinking forward to what happens after Immortal, or if he just truly believes that this is the fairy tale ending to his story. it doesn't matter because his story's not ending at Immortal this year. Uh, I've said it a lot of times, and I mean this. I'm glad that Killer Neptune has taken up the mantle and become the hero of this story, but I'm the monster at the end of the book. And Killa, I, I, I'm so sorry. I hope that in time you understand when I beat you tomorrow that it really was the best thing.
All right. Well, that's only one match that you have tomorrow. Let's talk about the other, the steel cage match against Ken Costa. He's put his career on the line. He's put it all out there, played all of his cards to get an opportunity to beat you on the biggest show of them all.
Oh boy, I mean, I am just fully in the villain role at this event, aren't I? We've got lovable Killer Neptune trying to do his underdog story, and then we've got Ken Costa, another very likable guy that has infectious passion about this business, and looks like I'm gonna kill a dream and end a career on the same night. That's neat, right? I mean, that's certainly not some bad guy stuff. Wow. Look, both matches, regardless of what's happening, I'm going to put on the absolute best show that I can because I owe it to the city of Las Vegas. I It's well documented. I've main evented Mortal 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. We know that there's one that kind of got skipped over in the middle of there. Immortal 9 was in Las Vegas, and it's the one city that got denied the Paragon of Greatness main event tour, and I get to make that up to them, and I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that they get the show that they deserve. If that means that I have to end the dream of Killer Neptune, then so be it. And if it means that I have to end the career of Ken Costa, then that's what's going to have to happen. I genuinely respect Ken. I don't understand why he put this on himself, but I think that it's important that we notice that. He put this on himself. I didn't ask him to do this. I didn't tell him to pick a fight with Johnny Mayhem and his group of faceless goons, where now there's potentially an X factor involved in this match that is also beyond my control. Every step of the way, Ken Costa has been making mistakes and refusing to listen to advice. This is a grave that he dug for himself. I just happen to be the guy with the shovel.
All right. Well, let's hear, since you're here, from Ken Costa. He actually recorded a message. I do apologize, folks, for the lack of video on this message from Ken Costa, but it was a last second entry, and I didn't have time to put it together. So this will be audio only, and that ain't it. Hold on a second.
Hello everyone, this is Kenny sorry, this is King Costa, the hot momentum talent of the RAWF, and we are only one night from the Immortal 12, and and so tomorrow I'm going to face the Paragon of Greatness, the purple legend himself. So here I am in my damn room next to Enigma's room anyway. So tomorrow for me it will be glory or career ending. So either I win, defeat that Paragon of Greatness, or I just lose and I will be done here. So I am just here now to say that if I lost, if my career will be over here, I won't waste time going in the ring and say thank you. I will just make it short here. So, to anyone I faced, to anyone I showed some respect, to anyone didn't even like me, thank you all. Thank to the boss. Thank to all vacant. Uh, thank to my friend Enigma, and for sure thank to the Baragon for being the last man I face. Just if I lost. So, enjoy enjoy the show. Enjoy yourself. Have a best of luck tomorrow. Good night.
All right, those were the words of Kenny Boy Ken Costa. And Paragon, how do you respond to what he had to say?
Hmm. Well, well, here's the thing about Ken. I've said it a lot of times. He's a very passionate guy, and sometimes that lets him make some poor decisions, like putting his career on the line. But that also leads to special moments. Uh, he cares so much and so deeply about what he's doing in the ring, outside of the ring, what have you, that he is capable of great things beyond that of what anybody would ever expect. That's why I took an initial interest in Ken Costa, and I certainly cannot count him out in this match. I'm, not necessarily the greatest experienced wrestler inside of a steel cage. There's certainly a speed element to that. Kenny Boy will, you know what? I don't want to disrespect him. I think that he doesn't want to be thought of as Kenny Boy anymore. So I will say the man Ken Costa is certainly a faster competitor than me, and he certainly has within him the potential to do amazing things. Uh, that being said, I don't plan on losing that match, but I'm being a little bit grim today, being very serious because I'm in an unfamiliar spot. I'm kind of playing spoiler to two different people. So let's turn this around a little bit because it is Immortal. Like, it is the weekend of Immortal. We're getting to interact with all of these fans. We're getting to be a part of all of these RAWF signing events and pre-Immortal events. I'm getting to see a lot of fans out there. It's a huge amount of fun. And honestly, after Immortal, it's going to be a big party with all the fans too. And if I'm going to look at this half full, I'm in two matches that unfortunately I may be the default villain in. But all that means is that if I go 0-2, I'm still having a great night, LA.
I'd like you to speak. I don't know that I've asked you anything about the Xanther tournament over the past few weeks, have I?
Not since the announcement weekend.
Well, let's hear your take on it because it seems like it's going to be a bigger turnout than we've had. It looks like it is a bigger turnout than we've had in several years. Over almost 120 people signed up to participate in this year's tournament. Talk to me about how you're feeling about this year's Xanther.
What was I just saying a minute ago about how it's Immortal weekend and we need to be excited and think about the good things? I mean, Xanther is the perfect example of what RAWF stands for, what Immortal is about. The Xanther, the Platinum Dragon Memorial Tournament, a landmark in this entire sport, something that people inside of RAWF, outside of RAWF, all around the world are constantly looking forward to. Not only is it the greatest tournament across the sport with the biggest prizes and the highest level of competition, but it's also something that is not only a true honor to win, but it's an honor to participate in because we hold up the memory of the people that helped us get here along the way, the people that can no longer compete, and we compete for them. We put on a show in dedication to all of the great names of the past that are no longer with us, and we celebrate them once a year, and it's not just the spirit of competition, the huge prizes. It's the truly emotional and meaningful nature of this tournament, because it means a whole hell of a lot more than some bucks and some coins. It means a whole hell of a lot more than an achievement tab. It means something very personal to almost every single wrestler across the W universe. And that is something that you can't replicate. A truly deeply personal connection to every single person that participates in this tournament. You talk about main events of pay-per-views and how they can get personal, have the stakes that really matter. Imagine having the biggest tournament in the sport and every single participant has the same level of emotional connection, like it is the main event of a pay-per-view, that is the end of a long story. That's incredible.
It is. It is incredible, and it's going to be an incredible night tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. You have been listening to the World Heavyweight Champion and his thoughts on Immortal tomorrow night. Paragon, any final thoughts?
Yeah, everybody that's having a match tomorrow, good luck. It's a hell of a card. I think it's going to be a huge night for Sai. She just beat my ass in the final of the extra points tournament too, so she is on fire. That's my prediction for the night. It's gonna, unfortunately, not going to be the story of Killer Neptune, but it will be the story of Sai. Mark my words. Next week we'll be talking about how great of a night Sai had at Immortal.
Oh, wow. That's a huge prediction. All right. Thank you for your time, Paragon. We will. I don't know if we'll talk to you again tomorrow night, but good luck to you against Ken Costa, and certainly good luck to you against Killer Neptune.
Thank you. And Killer Neptune's a bitch.
All right. El Vacant, it's going to be a happening. Those two facing off in the main event. It's going to be something else. Talk to me. Any final thoughts about that match?
I mean, someone's going to be a bitch.
Definitely, somebody is going to be. We either have a dream killer or a dream killer. We find out tomorrow.
I will say this: there is something that Paragon said in that all of that I actually I have to say I think he's 100% right. I think he has to do everything in his power to win that match, because if he doesn't, that win will be meaningless to Killer. He does not want to get handed this. He wants to beat the man he can't beat. And here's the thing. I think if you look at Paragon's history with this title, he fully understands that, right? Because, Griffith was his, boogeyman for a while. That was the man he had to get past to win this title, and then he did it. And I would bet you money, if we asked him, he would say the fact that he got that belt the way he did from who he did made it mean so much more. And that is absolutely going to be true for Killa if he manages to win this match. But because Paragon knows that, he is not going to go easy on his little brother.
All right, let's take a final overview look of Immortal 12. It all goes down live tomorrow night from Allegiant Stadium in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It is going to be an incredible night here in RAWF, the biggest night of the year, or at least one, if not the biggest, it's definitely one of the top 2 or 3. So, L Vacant, any random thought you have about tomorrow night that maybe we haven't discussed as of yet?
Yes, we should make sure that we use the cheapest possible linen for all of the female outfits for these matches. What? No?
No. No.
I mean, just saying.
All right. With that being said, we haven't heard from I think this is his first live trip to the new studio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome RAWF Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, Hobo Ezekiel joining us now here on the eve before Immortal. Hobo, are you there?
Am I here?
Yes,
Nice
you are.
Nice studio you got there. How can I compete with such a compelling story? Purple Man and Killing Neptune. Good damn, how can I compete with that?
Well, I mean, it is difficult. There ain't no doubt about it. That is
It is immortal. It is
that
immortal.
is indeed. But as of right now, Hobo, I mean, Randy. I've been waiting for him to show up. I don't know who you're supposed to wrestle tomorrow at Immortal, so it's kind of a difficult.
It's been kind of a rough road to Immortal a little bit. Had my chance at the national championship, lost that match, lost an Arsenal tournament. So I know Mark Caliber's been shooting off the lips a little bit, and but right now, Mama Moose is. Last time I saw her and Baby Moose was at the Caesar's Palace pool. I think the reason why they was over there is because Mama thought they were serving Caesar salads over there. And I really recently heard on the police scanner that there was word of and I quote, a baby moose on a zip line down Fremont Street. So I don't know how long I can stay on air with you right now. I might have a little whoopsham on my hand. But, back to Mark Caliber. He's been, this all started with a practical joke over a can't even remember what it was. It was a missile toad. And all of a sudden he jumps me after I tried to, say, hey, here's a missile toad. And of course, it was all a practical joke, but here's the thing, Mark Caliber. You want a match, and I'm offering to give you that match at Immortal. And whether it be a buried alive or steel cage match, you can choose whatever stipulations you want. But here's the thing. When you go to Immortal and people ask you who do you want to be known as? Ask yourself this. Do you want to be known, Mark, as Alex Caliber's brother back in your hometown? Or do you want to be known as Winter's little bitch? Because the only joke I see is her holding you down, holding you back, Caleb. So while I'm having some of Toby Jones's barbecue and foot massage down by Toby Jones, I'm going to be waiting to see if you show up at Immortal. And Lele, you are certainly welcome to come on down to Toby Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. That's 708-224-6191. Jones Good Ass Barbecue and Foot Massage. It's kind of catchy, isn't it, Lele? Jones Barbecue Foot Massage. Jones Barbecue Foot Massage. Jones Barbecue Foot Massage. Come on, Lele.
That sounds like a commercial you need to make. The next commercial, since you.
Oh, it's already been made.
Becomes highly recommended.
I have never heard of the place, and I used to live in Las Vegas, so it must be at least recently fairly new. I don't think it's an older establishment.
Well, I think they got a couple different locations all around, except they don't really call it the same. But if you got something to fry, your sneakers, bacon sandwich, what name you, anything alive, yeah, he'll fry it. Oh, I'm sorry, Elvacan.
What? Why?
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to say the A word.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, Hobo, if that match between you and Mark Caliber does go down, I of course have to hear from Mark before that match can be made official. And I do not know. Again, still waiting on Randy on who you exactly will face at Immortal 12. Talk to me about your take on the Hall of Fame announcements tomorrow, and who you think or who you hope will be announced tomorrow. Some one or two names, if you would.
That Pippen guy, Scottie Pippen. No, let's get serious. Boy, put me on the spot now, Lele. Well, I think what I did this year was look further back in the records, but I think it's harder being because I came into RAWF about 2017. I wasn't around when RAWF started, so just going from the storyline standpoint, a lot of these names I don't know, like Alec Remington or stuff like that. But and there's a debate on both sides if people that have been in RAWF that have passed away should be considered at one point, or if they should just have a memorial thing for it. I don't know. I see both sides to it. As far as who I think I could see going this year, I mean, as much as I hate the son of a dingaling who always seems to follow Shaquilla around, and I think we all know who that dingaling is, Blake Bradbury. I think he has made the case very strongly. Nightcrawler, of course, is a name that I see floating around there. But obviously, I know I trust the committee to make the right choice. And regardless of who goes in this year, it will be a special time for them and for us to celebrate it as well. And we will have good party time. Hashtag eat them wings.
All right. Elvacan, anything you'd like to talk to Hobo about before?
Can I just ask that if you really feel the need to make any more commercials for our business, you not talk about things like roadkill or, things that the food inspectors might take offense at. I cannot tell you how many inspections I've had to go through every time they air that commercial.
Well, I I hear you on there, Elrakin, but well, Pedro had the wheel at the time, and it was all he could avoid hitting that possum crossing the road, and so, we don't want to waste a lot of things, so yeah, we had a little a prayer, and I get my kicks from Route 66. I mean, we didn't have any paper plates, but we did have a couple hubcaps on the road. But that's getting a little too far into things. Stuff happened, and
You're killing me.
Well, it wasn't you that was.
Look. I'm gonna say it in a way
Something was
that
killed.
You know how things that happen in the boxcar stay in the boxcar. You know those
Well,
rules?
if you're talking about the Santa Fe line, I'm going to have to disagree with you, because that stuff you can hear down by Clark County. And a matter of fact, Uber Vegan, or was it not Uber Vegan? I think it was a Dr. Kent said that the difference between something about a hobo and a drifter, and I said, no, a drifter is what you see floating down Clark County shower room, and I won't further digress into that.
I got nothing.
What's happening here?
I don't know anymore.
All right, Hobo. With that being said, sir, if you do indeed face Mark Caliber in the steel cage or the buried alive match, good luck with that tomorrow. If not, then we will see who you face. I'm hoping Randy shows up.
Yeah, Lele, I really, really gotta go make sure Baby Moose ain't in trouble right now.
Yeah, you better do that.
Because right now, it sounds like at the Heart Attack Grill, Mama Moose is making a commotion down there. I think I better go down there before there's a big whoopsum.
All right, you do that, Hobo. Yeah, just go check on them and make sure everything is copacetic. That is Hobo Ezekiel, ladies and gentlemen, RAWF Hall of Famer himself. And El Vacant, you okay?
No.
Not? No.
I am not okay.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry
I'll
to hear
just start prepping for the next round of food safety inspections.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be something. Oh, finally. Guess who finally decided to show up, El Vacant?
Oh, my butt!
Ladies and gentlemen, oh, well, we'll do this. There we go. All right, Randolph Mortimer Draw is finally here. Randy, where have you been? Hey, how you doing, boss man? El Vacant, how you going? I may or may not have been trying to make up for some financial losses, if you know what I'm saying.
You didn't listen last week, did you?
No, I did. I did actually. Vacant. I took your advice, and what was it again?
Just stop.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't take your advice. Well, I did for a couple of days, and then we got here to Vegas, and them tables called to me. You know what I'm saying? They called to me.
I think I know what you're saying.
They're saying, Randy, come win some money here. We're new. You got.
How'd that go for you?
Well, actually, it went well for me. For a while, because I was up about $6 or $7 grand there for a couple of minutes.
And then you were like, I'm going to stop while I'm ahead and go do something less risky, right? That's what you did? Tell me that's what you did.
Well, Unfortunately, no. You see, because I thought I was on a roll, and you don't stop when you're on a roll. You know what I'm saying?
I sure keep going because you're on a roll.
And then the roll stopped, but I wanted to get back on the roll. So at any rate, boss, can I can I borrow some money? No. Oh, I mean, I only need like a couple grand. I'll be good. Then I'll pay you back. Take it out of my salary. No, you're done. I might even make you call Gamblers Anonymous when this is all said and done. You stay out of the damn casinos for the rest of the weekend. Oh, come on now, boss man. Ugh. All right, fine. We'll talk about it later. I need an immortal report. All right, all right. I got you, boss man. Hold on. All right, here's tomorrow's undercard for Immortal 12. Card subject to change, of course, but this is what I got. This is what I've got here officially. Mark Caliber, who may or may not have a what match with Hobo Ezekiel, but he is taking on Black Lilith. Psycho Girl taking on Big F and Hitman. Dr. Kent to take on Strangleheart. The Razor to take on Lose on Warrior Queen Falcon. Marquis Decide to take on Hot Cheese. Big Papa to take on Tigress. Sisulu taking on Toxic Megatron Avenger. Natalia Nitro to take on Christopher Price. Davila takes on Magnificent Michael. Kayla the Governess takes on the Crippler. Crazy Mama takes on Sophia McFadden. Olivia McGinnis takes on Johnny Mayhem. Angel Bitch takes on Roger the Pirate. Crazy Serb to take on Honey Thunder Apples. Rick Nelson to take on Spectacular. Des Bryant to take on DVT. Addiction will take on the Carnage King. Undertaker will take on Joey A. Agent of Hate to take on Soul Reaper. Because his match with Bruiser Omega will not be his rankings match. The Cougar take on the Goddess of Pain. The Moose will take on Mystic Maniac. Kitty Kabam to take on the Stormtrooper of Death. The Minion will take on Sean Hitman Hurd. Sassy Applebee's will take on Wildfire. Boney takes on D's. Dark Warrior take on Scythe. Evan Deadly takes on Papa Shaker. Cara DeVille takes on Money Sue. Andy Price to take on Aaron McFadden. Count Zraithnot takes on Greek God Jim Steele. And Mancunian Maniac to take on Ciro El Napolitano. So that's what I got there, boss man, for tomorrow's undercard at Immortal 12. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Hey, yo, Bacon.
Yeah, what do you need?
You got a couple pesos you could spare. I just
No.
wanted, but I just need some.
I'll say it in Spanish. No.
I'll trade you.
All right, what do you got?
I got a couple bottles of Mad Dog 2020.
No.
Oh. Fine. I guess I'll just walk the 2 miles back to the hotel then. Wait a minute. Why?
Tell Pedro to give you a lift.
Pedro? Wait a minute. I would get into his car, but it smells like possum.
Fine. Then ask Julio to give you a lift in the taco truck when he's done.
Oh, I get to ride in a taco truck. Okay, now we're talking. I like that idea. All right, I'll do that. Thank you. All right, that was Randolph Mortimer Draw with your undercard report for Immortal 12. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, well, he was here. In fact, he's tried several times to call in, but it didn't matter. All right. Well, then, in that case, let's now turn our attention to the Triple Crown title match, and one of the challengers is here, ladies and gentlemen, RAWF Hall of Famer.
Boots hit the dirt, stealing my stare. Six-pack of vengeance, I don't fight fair. Rattlesnake blood running through my veins. Mess with the best, you'll be feeling the pain. I'm a renegade, born of all, raised on rage. Knuckles up, I set the stage. Drinking beer and kicking pain. Ain't no cage can hold my name. Redneck Avenger, don't need no crown. But you best believe I run this town. From back road bars to the square circle, ain't no rules when I raise this hurdle. I don't tap out, I don't back down. You cross my line, you're going down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Redneck Avenger is here. Good evening, RA.
Good evening, LA. How are you this fine, wonderful, lovely evening?
Oh, it's always a good night in Vegas, RA. You know that. I have a feeling you and I have put a few down here in Vegas in the past. But we'll
Yeah,
keep
1
that.
to 1,200.
We'll keep that to ourselves because, as you know, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
And what they don't know won't hurt me.
Exactly. So we are less than 24 hours away from your big immortal moment, challenging for the Triple Crown Championship. But two fine ladies in your way, that being Seabell and Eva. So talk to me about how you're feeling going into this matchup tomorrow.
Well, my feeling is isn't that complicated. It's quite focused. They're good competitors. They're fine. And if I don't, on a match like this, I don't not take somebody seriously. If they made it here, they made it here for a reason. They're lesser known, and that's all right. It's just time. I ain't had to go in a while. It's just time to assert myself.
Well, yeah, you haven't had a go for a while. This is a big night for you, certainly. And I'm looking down the list of former Triple Crown champions, and you are not among them. So this would be a new notch in your belt, and I'm certain that plays a part in possibly
Signal chewed up a little bit. My manager's in a. Yeah, this is a belt that I have not
Yeah, you
looking
are.
forward to this.
Yeah, you are fading in and out here on us, RA. But I hope you are looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Certainly, when the three of you match up. As Vake and I were talking, I feel like, no offense, any one of the three of you can win this match. This is almost even Steven. This isn't a. This is going to be a fight. This is going to be one of the biggest fights of your life.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've been in plenty of big scrapes. I mean, and I'm not discounting this. They are getting taken seriously on that level. I'm not playing around.
I hope not. This is definitely not the time to play around. The biggest show of the year, one of the biggest titles in RAWF, and certainly something to
Intend to walk out with it.
Yeah, I hope you do. El Vacant, anything you'd like to ask RA?
So, I think you're going into this match with a huge power advantage, right? Like you're going to be physically stronger than both of them. But I suspect they're both faster.
Also, a little something else. There's experience advantage, and
Over Eva, definitely. But I mean, I think Sai's been at this long enough that the difference is minimal.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, Sai's been around a long time. So here's my question. It's like, how, I mean, but I mean, you bring up your experience, so that's a good lead into where my question was going. How do you deal with opponents who are just quicker than you?
Whenever you go against someone that's quicker than you, you give them fewer options. You contain and then you strike.
All right, I like that. So, so you've got a game plan in mind, which is good. It's always good, walk into these match. You can't just play catch as catch can in there, and with this level of opponent. So, it's good to hear that you've been thinking about this.
Oh, it's been on my mind. It has been on my mind, and
I mean, I look at it this way: if you win tomorrow, great for you. If one of the ladies wins, good for them. But this is no offense to anyone in the match, regardless of who wins. You know who it's good for? The RAWF fans.
Roger that.
Because this is going to be a hell of a fight. I'm really excited to see it.
I'm excited to be in it. Man, I'm drinking this Commissar Russian Imperial Stout. I've never had that shit in my life.
How is it?
It's
dark.
It's very dark. It's rougher than an old corn cob wrapped in toilet paper scraping on a hemorrhoid.
There's a description.
Wow.
Yeah, that's some rough stuff. I think it's like 12% alcohol, which is fine with some drinks, but beer is like, really?
That's a little much. That's a beer that chews like a meal.
Very much so.
I really hope that description gets on the show notes.
But do you though? Do you really?
Yes, I do, because it would be funny.
Yep, there's a piece of you that will never be the same.
I've heard some things on this show, and that was one of them. Let's put it. All right. Well, RA, anything to say to your two opponents tomorrow night in that Triple Crown Championship match? One of them is here, and I'm sure the other one will be listening eventually.
I wish you the best of luck, because you're gonna need it.
All right. Thank you, RA. I'll let you go because it sounds like you might be in a tunnel or something. Your signal's a little weak, so appreciate you showing up, and I'm sure you will be listening in tomorrow night when we announce the new RA. What? Okay. All right. Thank you, RA.
Right.
All right. So, one last person to talk to this evening, Ella Vacant. He is a man going into 3 title matches, 1 challenging, 2 defending, and it should make for an interesting evening for the man who is immortal.
Yoo-hoo! I'll make you famous.
The shadow of the moonlight, a figure stands alone, a warrior born. Through the ages, through the pain, his name etched in blood, forever torn. The Lion of London roars in the night. No mercy, no weakness, no end in sight. The inevitable rise, the tempest unleash. All shall fall when the Kraken's released. Through fire and blood, his hands are stained. He stands alone, with none to restrain. Unstoppable force, a wrath untamed. No kingdom or God can withstand his name. Griffins are beyond the immortal one. Eternal champion, his war's never done. Hunter of monsters, a faction of one. In a world that's broken, he stands with none. The tempest rages, his head held high. An immortal legend that will never die. Through violence, his name never fades. He fights through the ages, his will never sways.
I am Immortal.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is indeed immortal. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the immortal Griffith. Good evening, Griffith.
Good evening, Lord Amadeus, and welcome to the eve of my show.
Well, you were a bit of a Nostradamus last week, predicting that Hatfield-McCoy title match. And so let's talk
This
about
is my shocked face.
Let's talk about you challenging Chris Cage for the Hatfield-McCoy Championship, and what kind of beating can he expect tomorrow at Immortal?
You know, I heard you earlier, and Mel Bacon over here talking about how I'm annoyed, and how I'm going to take out my annoyance on Chris. And to some degree, you're right, but it's not so much that I'm annoyed with Christopher. It's that I am disappointed in Christopher. I feel like he had all of this potential. He was finally on the right path. He was on the road to greatness, and he allowed himself to be detoured by a wannabe puppet master and his entourage of clowns. Well, I can't control the boy's life. I can't control what he does or who he decides to associate with or the choices he makes. But I can absolutely have opinions about them. And I believe I've made them clear. So come tomorrow, I'm going to make something else clear too. When someone gains my respect, that's an accomplishment. Very few people in this company can say they've done that and it be true. But even fewer can say that once they've gained it, they've lost it. So tomorrow you get to find out what that means, Christopher. What it means when the Immortal has decided that you are not worthy to carry a belt in the company he built on his back. You are not worthy to be uttered in the same breath with men like Paragon, Griffith. No, you are not worthy. Hell, you're not worthy to be uttered in the same breath as someone in your own little entourage, Sigh. So tomorrow I'm going to make sure that you're mentioned just a little bit less by taking that title away from you and adding it to my vast collection of gold.
And then we turn to the men's championship match, your defense of that against Blake F. and Bradley.
Speaking of unworthy, what is there to say about Blake that I haven't already said? While Chris has earned my respect and lost it, Blake has never had it. Blake gets through life with chicanery and attempted guile. But the problem is his plans are like tissue paper. You can see right through them. They hold up to no scrutiny. A stiff breeze makes them crumble, which is what we saw coming up to Immortal. All these little machinations just flitting away under the mildest of pressure. So, what was it that Killer called him earlier? What was it? I think it was a little bitch. Right. Thank you. Very helpful. Yes, a little bitch. So he, the last time he faced me at a pay-per-view, it went very poorly for him. And, I hear he's really distracted these days. I don't really pay attention to what he's doing, but I've had, people in the locker room kind of telling me things. And, I hear he's not really paying attention to, important things like me. So I expect I'm going to walk through him like I walked through him last time. And then I'll move on to the match that matters.
And of course, the match you're referring to is for the Fubar City Championship, going one-on-one with your tag team partner, your your student, the person that probably knows you better than anybody else, or at least one of them, the lovely Maeve O'Hare.
Yeah, when worlds collide, huh? You have two of the best in this business going face to face for the first time at Immortal in the RAWF for the Fubar City Champion. You could not write a better storyline for a payday, LA. You are going to get fans from all over the world tuning in just to watch that match. I mean, and lucky them, there'll be a host of other matches that are well worth watching. But when the God Slayers go toe to toe, you better hope and pray that that building's been reinforced, because we will tear it down brick by brick as we try to tear each other down at the same time. Get ready, because I know I'm ready, and I know Maeve's ready.
Oh, I'm ready. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. So, it is going to be a happening, no doubt about it. It was funny. I believe it was you that said a pay per view within a pay per view, or was it Paragon?
I believe that was Paragon, actually, although he's right.
So Maeve, not here this evening, so she is preparing for her match tomorrow against you for the Fubar City Championship. But this is a typical Immortal for you. Several matches, big, grudges on the line, big titles on the line. Rate this Immortal in difficulty to previous Immortals as far as your itinerary is concerned.
I have had easier Immortals, but I have had much harder Immortals. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, I have 3 matches, but only one I'm even vaguely concerned about. I have a match against someone who is a shadow of his former self. I have a match against someone who has only ever been a shadow. And then I have, a Godslayer.
Okay. All right. Any final thoughts about either the Xanther tournament or the Hall of Fame?
Yes. I intend to get past round 3 for the first time in the history of the Xanther tournament.
That's a goal. Is that another?
Yeah, that's the goal. Usually my goal is to win. This time my goal is to get to round 4.
So it'll be a victory if you win.
Could you just maybe put Sassy at the other side of the fucking bracket, so if I have to face her, it's not till later.
You know I have no control over that whatsoever.
Killing me. And I'm immortal.
That's good. That's good. I like what you did there. L Vacant, any final questions for the Immortal?
The Immortal? What the hell is the Immortal?
I said Immortal.
Okay. I don't know what it sounds like. Actually, I do have a question for you. So it's not related to Immortal. It's just related to stuff that's come up around Immortal. I noted, and you and your erstwhile partner have also commented on the fact that starting next season, we get to see something we haven't seen in 2 years, where you guys, the Godslayers, have thrown their name back into the ring for the tag team division. Yes, but that's not a question. I'm getting there. So I have to ask, what was the catalyst of that? What inspired you guys to come back? So, due to various factors, we decided to step out 2 years ago, and all of those factors have resolved themselves. And most of them have nothing to do with RAWF, but they were factors, and we felt it was not, if we couldn't give RAWF tag team division our all, we weren't going to do it at all. and we felt that we couldn't at that time. But that has passed, and with things we have been seeing in the tag team division, we feel it is the right time to step in and remind people just exactly who the Godslayers are and why we are the best tag team in the world. I mean, all right, sort of an answer, I guess.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the next season of tags to see how teams like the Godslayers do fare. We've got a lot of new people or a lot of old people who are new. If you understand what I'm saying there, we'll see. It's going to be I'm looking forward to seeing that whole tag season plays out. But
the landscape is definitely different than when we left it, and that's part of the reason we came back. Is a very different and challenging landscape.
Indeed. As the tag team division usually is, of course, run by the impeccable Unstoppable. All right, Griffith, thank you for your time tonight. I assume we will hear from you tomorrow when we go live right here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
How could you have my pay-per-view without me?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. All right. Thank you, Griffith.
Did you hear that?
I don't have to hear it. I know it happened because I have a mirror right here. But at any rate, have a good night, Griffith. Get some rest. Prepare yourself for tomorrow.
Have a good night.
All right, folks, that just about wraps it up for this evening. But I want to remind you once again, we will be here at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. It's going to be a huge night. The start of the Xanther the Platinum Dragon Memorial Tournament. The announcement of the RAWF Hall of Fame. And remember, these are just announcements, not inductions. Those happen in May at the pay-per-view Radiversary, which you are going to get a sneak peek of the logo and song as we leave you this evening. El Vacant, any final thoughts?
Yes, don't take any wooden nickels, because if you bite them, you'll get splinters.
That is sound advice. Sound advice if I'd ever heard it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. We will hopefully see you tomorrow night for one of the biggest nights in the RAWF yearly calendar, Immortal 12. Till then, I give you the preview for Radiversary.
And don't lend Randy any money.
Turned into a flame, built a legacy, now they know our name. Through every high, through every fall, we stood tall, we gave it our all. Every step, every mile, every heartbreak, every trial, now we stand, heads held high, underneath the brightest sky. It's our anniversary, light up the night, raise up the banners, we earned this right. Through the sweat, through the grind, we left no dream behind, now we shine in the Hall of Fame. Nothing around here will ever be the same. They said it impossible, we proved them wrong. Turned up the volume, wrote our own song. Every late night, every long day, led us right to this golden stage. Every tear, every night, lit the fire, sparked the light. Now we stand, hearts ablaze, this is history, we're here to stay. It's our anniversary, light up the night, raise up the banners, we earned this right. Through the sweat, through the grind, we left no dream behind. Now we shine in the Hall of Fame. Nothing around here will ever be the same. For the dreamers, the fighters, the ones who believe, for anniversary, light up the night, raise up the banners, we earned this right. Through the sweat, through the grind, we left no dream behind. Now we shine in the Hall of Fame. Nothing around here will ever be the same. Years in the making, now here we stand. A Hall of Fame story, written by hand. We said anniversary, light up the night, raise up the banners, we earned this right. Through the sweat, through the grind, we left no dream behind. Now we shine.